Did you tell them what for? Oh, okay. I just wanted to thank everyone for your prayers and your support for this camp. We had 25 kids go to camp this year, and 11 for the island, which are high schoolers. We had 11 middle schoolers to the Wild, and 3 elementary children for the ranch. And this is our 3rd year to do it, and it's wonderful to see how the kids, for lack of a better word, like their spiritual meter, when we put them on the van heading up to camp, it's low. Kind of like a battery when you plug it in, that meter is low. And at the end of the week, when we put them back in the van, it's like that meter is just overflowing. They may be tired and exhausted, and you can tell that they've had an amazing week, but that God just shines right through them. That meter is just overflowing. For us at the lodge, one of the themes that really touched home for me was God's grace. No matter if it's your spouse, or your children, or just your friends and family, how God's grace should shine through us. How we look at each other and how we treat each other should be how God treats us, with love and grace, forgiveness. But an underlying interaction with the staff there, it seemed like there was another thing going on just with me personally, and that was no matter what's going on in your life, whether it's an illness or an injury or maybe your day's just not going like it should, God is always working. He's always in the background, and he's always working. And you may never know what it is, but God's glory is going to shine through somehow or another in that incident. Now, at camp, the kids learned how everyday distractions, kind of get in your way of your spiritual walk with God. And they learned how to discuss those different distractions and maybe how to overcome them. But I'm going to let Martha share her experience, and maybe she can go in a little bit more detail about that.
Good morning. My name is Martha Soto. I went to the Word of Life camp this summer. My first year at the Wild was incredible. My counselors were very kind, and we did a lot of activities and had a great time all week. But for me, the main focus was what we learned. The theme of our year was Forward, Take the Risk. Our speaker taught us about the 5 lies that Satan uses and how we should act toward them. The first lie is that Satan says we can't. When God tells us to do something, Satan puts a seed of doubt in ourselves in our mind, thinking we can't do it. But we can do it in God's power always. The second lie is that Satan tries to make us fail. Satan will keep throwing lies at us to stop us from doing God's will. When we don't do something right, he tells us just to quit. We should know God has a plan for everything and everyone, and we should never quit on him. Lie number 3 is that Satan tries to stop us. Satan will toss obstacles our way to make it much more difficult to do God's will and follow him. Satan will even get people to try to stop you, but it isn't right. We should never stop following God. Number 4, Satan tells us we can and aren't capable, to send someone else to do it. Satan tells us other people are better at that. Quit now to let someone else do it. But the truth is that God chose you for a reason and a big purpose. Trust in him and he will show you the way. Lie number 5 is that Satan tells us we don't matter. We are not important, but God thinks differently. We are so important to the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, that he himself sent his only Son to die for us. We are very meaningful, and we should never forget that. All the songs sung were well played and extremely meaningful. God has really blessed me in a way I can't forget it. It changed my life. God's Word, the Word of Life.